Good afternoon, North Andover. This is Dr. Greg Gilligan, Superintendent of Schools, here with the March School Update, and I have a very special guest today, Greg T. Landry. He's our Director of
Hi,
Human
everybody.
Resources, just permanently appointed, and I wanted to invite him on today to talk a little about his transition from a longtime principal in the district to the Director of Human Resources. So, Greg, welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Gilligan.
And so, how do you like the job so far?
I actually love it. I wasn't sure when we first spoke about it how things would go. I was always positive in thinking about it, but it's been a great transition. I have to say, the support you have given me, Dr. Mealy's given me, Mrs. Marks has given me, it's been great. We've worked well together for many years, so I knew I'd be comfortable coming into a setting like this, but there's been a lot of technical things to learn, and it's just a different kind of pace and just overall operation from what a school has been for me for the last 15 years, 12 here in North Andover. So I can't say I've done things flawlessly, but I've been working really hard to do things just right, just so that we can change this office and the culture a little bit in the HR department to be one really honed in on customer service.
Greg, for the folks at home that don't know who you are, I mean, I know all the Atkinson families watching right now know you as the longtime Atkinson All-Star principal. Could you tell the rest of the folks in North Andover a little bit about your background, where you grew up, went to school?
Sure, I'd love to. Well, I was a longtime resident of Lowell, Mass. Grew up there, lived there for my first 18 years. Then I went off to college in Boston, spent 4 years there, came back, wasn't sure exactly what I wanted to do, graduated with a psych degree and thought I might want to do some stuff in that realm, but after many years of coaching, I realized I think teaching was the right thing for me. So I went back to school, I got my master's in education, and landed a job in Braintree for a year, came back up to Lowell where I did my student teaching. I taught there for 8 years. Then I took on a district role there while I got my hours in as I was working towards becoming an assistant principal. Right from there, I went over and I worked in Groton for a year, bounced to Melrose Public Schools for 2 years, excuse me, and then I really wanted to come back to the area, be a little bit closer, and I was lucky enough to land in North Andover, and I've been here ever since.
We're thrilled. So far this year in our newly adopted strategic plan, there's a very large section. We have 3 objectives and 11 initiatives, but we have a big portion dedicated to human resources in terms of teacher recruitment, some other goals that we've set, and Greg's going to play a big role in that, and that has to do with mentoring, recruitment, hiring teachers that are more representative of the students in which we have the pleasure to serve, from onboarding processes to more collaboration with the town. Are there some other areas that I'm missing, Greg?
No, that covers it. Those are all big jobs and really important to make this district grow. And we always want to serve the students the best way that we can, so bringing in the right people. We always want the best and brightest, but we also want a mix of backgrounds and diversity in all kinds of ways so that the experience is even fuller for our students. So that's a big job of mine. So we've been reaching out, thinking about ways to connect to schools of education for younger teachers, but also going out into other communities just to make sure people know that we want the best and brightest here in North Andover, and we're going to bring them in any way we can. We don't have a problem retaining teachers once they're here, but we want to make sure we start off by bringing in the right people for our kids.
Well, Greg, I'm thrilled that you agreed to take on the interim job. I'm thrilled that when we posted it, internally and externally, you applied, became a finalist, and were appointed. I'm looking forward to great things in the HR department. I'm particularly excited about the partnerships working with Merrimack College and Salem State and Endicott College and some of the other places that you've been reaching out to, particularly some of the other Boston area schools, is really exciting to me. Now one of your first tasks as HR director is to help participate and facilitate the search for a new Atkinson principal, which is pretty exciting. But I think we consider ourselves really lucky here in North Andover to have Greg Landry as the new HR director. And one of the most exciting things, I think, to end on this is Greg's starting to really work even more so with the town side. And I think that's going to be a great relationship with both those departments working together to best service our employees and support them. So once again, thanks for having us for the March update of the Journal. Dr. Greg Gilligan signing off, and
Greg Landry signing off as well. Thank you for having me.
Thanks. Have a great month.